A bold new plan is taking shape in Washington. Former President Donald Trump has proposed a $30 billion investment to rebuild America's shipbuilding industry and challenge China's dominance at sea. The plan aims to spark a renaissance in American manufacturing, creating thousands of high-skilled jobs and reviving communities that once thrived on shipbuilding. This is more than an economic boost. It's a strategic move to restore U.S. naval superiority and global influence. For years, China has outpaced the U.S. in ship production, expanding its navy and commercial fleet at breakneck speed. By pouring billions into domestic shipyards, the U.S. hopes to close this gap and reclaim its maritime leadership. The proposal is a declaration of intent to reverse decades of industrial decline and confront a competitor with a massive head start. Success is far from guaranteed, with challenges ranging from high costs to a depleted workforce. The $30 billion is just the catalyst for a much larger transformation, one that will require sustained effort and political will. The journey to rebuild American shipbuilding is only beginning. The United States faces a daunting rival, China, the world's undisputed shipbuilding superpower. China's state-driven model, with vast subsidies and focused planning, has created an ecosystem where ships are built faster and cheaper than anywhere else. Its shipyards churn out everything from massive container ships to advanced warships, giving Beijing a significant numerical advantage. The U.S. can't win a numbers game alone. Even with billions invested, matching China's output is nearly impossible in the short term. Chinese shipyards now produce some of the most advanced vessels in the world, eroding America's traditional technological edge. The U.S. must focus on building smarter, not just more, leveraging strengths in high-tech systems, automation, and innovation. Competing with China means out-innovating, not just out-producing. The challenge is to turn industrial revival into a technological leap forward. Washington must craft a strategy that plays to American strengths, not just tries to match China's scale. The future of U.S. maritime power depends on it. One of the biggest obstacles is cost. U.S.-built ships can be up to 5 times more expensive than those made in Asia. High labor costs, strict regulations, and a weakened supply chain all drive up prices, making American ships uncompetitive globally. Decades of decline have eroded economies of scale and left the domestic supply chain fragile. Rebuilding this ecosystem means revitalizing not just shipyards, but also suppliers and manufacturers nationwide. The government is considering subsidies and stronger Buy American rules to help level the playing field. These measures aim to create a protected market and steady stream of orders for U.S. shipbuilders. But experts warn, there are no quick fixes. True competitiveness will require years of sustained investment and political commitment. The high cost of American ships remains the central challenge. Overcoming it demands a durable, realistic national strategy. To accelerate its shipbuilding revival, the U.S. is looking to allies like South Korea and Japan, global leaders in the industry. Collaboration could mean sharing technology, learning efficient production methods, or co-developing components. But American politics limits how much help can be accepted. The focus remains on creating U.S. jobs and reviving domestic industry. Partnerships may be limited to areas like shipyard design or supply chain management, not outsourcing entire ships. The Philly Shipyards acquisition by South Korea's Hanwha Group is a model. Allied expertise upgrades an American facility, but American labor builds the ships. Allies can provide a crucial boost, but the heavy lifting must be done at home. Smart collaboration, not wholesale delegation, is the path forward. The responsibility for America's maritime future rests on its own shoulders. Despite the bold vision, many experts remain skeptical. China's shipbuilding lead is massive. Closing the gap would require a national effort on a scale not seen since World War II. High costs and a shrunken industrial base make it hard to compete without permanent government support. Critics argue that $30 billion, while significant, is just a drop in the ocean compared to what's needed. The U.S. shipbuilding sector has lost skilled labor and supply chains over decades. Rebuilding this ecosystem can't happen overnight. Workforce training, infrastructure upgrades, and supply chain restoration are as critical as funding. Money alone won't solve foundational issues. Revitalizing American shipbuilding is a monumental, long-term challenge. Success depends on realism, sustained effort, and political will. The plan is just the opening move in a much longer competition. The $30 billion plan is backed by a suite of government policies to support U.S. shipyards. Direct subsidies aim to offset higher costs, making American-built ships more competitive. Strengthening laws like the Jones Act would guarantee a market for domestic shipbuilders by requiring U.S.-built ships for domestic trade. Recent executive orders signal the White House's commitment to the industry. For shipyards, reliable government contracts are crucial for hiring and modernization. The effectiveness of these policies depends on their consistency and long-term application. Revitalizing shipbuilding isn't a short-term project. It needs a sustained, multi-year strategy. The combination of funding, subsidies, and protective regulations forms a comprehensive approach. Success will be measured by the government's ability to maintain this support over time. Only then can the U.S. truly rebuild its shipbuilding might. Rebuilding America's shipyards is about more than ships. It's a key move in the global strategic competition with China. A larger, modern U.S. fleet is essential for deterring aggression and reassuring allies in the Indo-Pacific. The initiative also aims to restore America's industrial and economic influence. Revitalizing shipbuilding sends a message: America is not in decline. China's Belt and Road expands its global reach. The U.S. must respond with military strength, economic partnerships, and diplomacy. A strong industrial base underpins all these efforts. The shipbuilding plan is a pillar of America's grand strategy for the 21st century. It addresses a critical vulnerability and bolsters the foundations of U.S. power. The ability to build and maintain a world-class fleet is fundamental to global leadership. America's future influence depends on the fate of its shipyards. The stakes are global and the competition is fierce. The $30 billion plan is just the start. True success requires a comprehensive, nationwide effort. Training a new generation of skilled workers is essential, from welders to digital designers. Modernizing shipyards with automation and digital technologies will boost efficiency and cut costs. Strengthening domestic supply chains ensures reliable, affordable access to materials and components. Above all, sustained political will is crucial. A multi-decade project can't be derailed by shifting priorities. A long-term national strategy must provide stable funding and policies, giving shipyards and investors confidence. The goal isn't just more ships, but smarter, technologically superior ones. Innovation in unmanned systems, advanced materials, and propulsion will be key. The road ahead is tough, but with strategic effort, the U.S. can reclaim its maritime leadership. The future of American shipbuilding depends on commitment and vision. The $30 billion shipbuilding plan is about America's future as a global power. Naval supremacy has long underpinned U.S. influence, securing trade and supporting allies. Revitalizing shipbuilding means a stronger Navy, more jobs, and renewed innovation. Success would signal America's commitment to leadership and industrial strength. Failure risks a shrinking fleet, emboldened adversaries, and lost manufacturing skills. The gap with China could widen, shifting the balance of power. The stakes are high. It's not just about money, but about what kind of nation America wants to be. Will the U.S. build and innovate, or cede the seas to others? The journey to rebuild shipbuilding will shape America's role in the world. The outcome will determine the future of U.S. maritime power.